Speak now to Mohammed Shafiq. He's from the Ramadan Foundation, which is a Muslim youth group based here in the UK. Good to have you with us, Mohammed.
Good afternoon, Felicity.
As we all know, there are racists in every community throughout the world. Is there not some truth in what Mr. Straw has had to say about a small minority of men in the Pakistani community who do see white women as different to girls from their own community, possibly regarding them as maybe having looser morals and therefore subject to be targeted, if you like?
Well, the commentary piece I did for the Times newspaper on Tuesday, I did actually set that out in quite clear terms, that there is a perception amongst criminal gangs that white teenagers are less valuable than their own daughters and their own sisters. I've been very clear about that. But I think Jack Straw's intervention has been unhelpful in this debate. Jack Straw has been an MP for 31 years. How come is only today in 2010, 31 years later, that he suddenly, had the urge to come out publicly and speak on this particular issue? Well, I guess he's
reacting to this particular court case.
Oh, he's jumping on the bandwagon. There is another way you can put it. But there is a substantive issue here that we've got to recognise that there is a problem, endemic problem within certain aspects of our society with child abuse. 95% of child abuse in this country is committed by white people. We do not say that this is ingrained or within white communities. And similarly, there is a problem amongst criminal gangs. They're criminal gangs. They don't represent any particular community, any faith. And the most important thing for your viewers is that there is no culture or religion anywhere in the world that endorses this sort of evil crime. And I hope that by taking such a public stance myself, it sends out the message very clearly that those people that engage in such crimes will be put away for a very long time.
It is a sensitive issue. Is it a subject that has been worth raising, even if you think that Jack Straw has leapt onto the bandwagon as such? Because typically within, say, a Pakistani community, to talk about such issues is a difficult thing, isn't it?
Well, 2 years ago, when I raised similar comments 2 years ago, but, I was vilified by many, both by the police and the authorities, and also with some in the community who said I brought shame on the community. And we now know that there's been 50 British Pakistanis who've been convicted of these crimes, and we know it's a reality, and we need to stamp it out. And I've been inundated with support from the community, and I think the vast majority of people in our society, in our communities, recognise that this is an evil. We abhor this sort of thing. And we think it's absolutely sick. An attack and grooming of white teenage girls by Asian gangs is as abhorrent as the other way around.
Is there a little bit of a problem with the fact that it's Jack Straw who's raised this issue? Because we all remember, of course, there was a huge hoo-ha back in 2006 when he suggested that women wearing the full face veil somehow hindered community relations. He basically told one of his constituents that, I would much prefer if you took your veil off because I need to see you eye to eye. And that raised a huge storm. Is it a problem that it's he, who most people would say he's not a racist MP, he's been a good politician, but he's the man who's raised this issue?
I know Jack Straw personally. I've met him on many occasions, and I wouldn't necessarily say he's a racist, but I think he's been very naive and very stupid and irresponsible. If he thinks that by making these comments that somehow this is culturally ingrained within Pakistani community, that's deeply offensive to the British Pakistani community. And I think that's the important thing, that you think that having been through the previous veil fury, he would have learned some lessons from this. And, I know this morning he's backtracked on his comments from yesterday. The clip you shown from BBC News Night, he's backtracked, he's qualified his comments, and I think that's welcome. As we move forward, I've been involved in this debate for over 5 days now, and the reason I've done it is because I want to protect young girls from future abuse, and I think we need to focus back on the victims of these crimes and not the political implications of a politician making comments.
Great, good to have you with us, Mohammed Shafiq. Thanks so much for your input.
Thank you.